Let's get ready to rumble!
The more you fuck around, the more you're going to find out. And also,
hey, I'm going to Home Depot right now. I need that chair.
All right, so I need y'all to watch this clip, get a little history lesson. Make sure y'all stay to end because I have a few things to say, but I guarantee you it's not what you think I'm gonna say. There's no way in heck that all of these factors were a coincidence. Like, even the boat's name was Harriet. Like, what?
If you look at Riverfront Park, you see it's off the coast of a river, of course. That part of the Alabama River, where the Horseshoe Bend is, where Riverfront Park is, used to be an auction block. Our ancestors were transported up that river, unloaded there, and sold. And for context, so many black people were enslaved and sold in this part of the Alabama River by the riverfront that they had to build depots to warehouse them like objects until it was their time to go to the auction.
Historian Mercrim3 on TikTok puts everyone on game.
This is a city resonant with the history of racial strife. The first White House of the Confederacy. Statues and memorials to Confederate leaders. The church where Martin Luther King Jr. preached. The bus stop where Rosa Parks became a symbol of resistance.
On February 4th, 1861, delegates from the seceded Southern states convened in Montgomery, Alabama, to establish the Confederate States of America. Montgomery was selected as the Confederate capital, and the William Sayre home chosen as the first White House of the Confederacy.
As Krim stated, per the Atlanta Journal-Constitution, downtown Montgomery was once a major center of the domestic slave trade in the antebellum South. Enslaved people were transported on the river, unloaded at the dock, marched up Commerce Street, and sold off at the market on Court Square. The numbers? Obviously daunting. In 1820, Alabama was home to 41,879 slaves. By 1860, the population swelled to more than 435,000, among the largest population of enslaved black people in America. That same year, Alabama's capital had more slave trading spaces than it did churches and hotels, wrote Lonely Planet. Montgomery was a hub for slave trade, thanks to the easy transport via railroads and the Alabama River located blocks from the museum. There are markers installed all throughout the city detailing the markets, warehouses, where Jefferson Davis was inaugurated, a sign describing the slave trade by train and by ship, and more. Brian Stevenson, executive director of the Montgomery-based nonprofit legal firm Equal Justice Initiative, told USA Today in 2013, "You can't understand civil rights or the Civil War without an appreciation of slavery and what the slave trade did to places like Montgomery."
And of course, this right here used to be a place where our ancestors, maybe their direct ancestors, were sold like objects, like animals. And it was possibly done by their ancestors. Yo, that's a hell of a perspective right there.
The town's mayor, Stephen L. Reed, put out a statement which read in part, "Warrants are being signed and justice will be served. We should not become desensitized to violence of any kind in our community. Those who choose violent actions will be held accountable." Via 11 Alive, we saw a glimpse of what was to come. The person who jumped in the water to help was identified as 16-year-old Aaron, who swam to aid his coworker. A statement from the family publicist read in part from Aaron, "It's what I was taught to do." He was labeled a cherished young hero who selflessly came to the rescue of a fellow colleague, showing courage beyond his years. One man has been identified as Chase Shipman, owner of Vassar's Mini Mart, because, well, he identified himself on social media as being at the scene. Some users dug into Vassar's and found a photo that allegedly came from the store, which read to the backlash, "I don't need you people's money. I prefer the superior white dollar."
Okay, so we must allow this to be a defining moment that takes us to new heights. Let this situation in Alabama be a call to action for us to take action, for us to understand the power of unification, for us to understand the power of the black dollar, for us to understand what we are capable of and what our ancestors were doing. However, we must understand the biggest tactic of the true enemy is division. So do not allow them to turn this into a civil war. Yes, we can have our moment. I'm not trying to take that away. Yes, this was extremely warranted. I'm not trying to take that away. But I just don't want this to just be another meme, another just laugh, something we forget about in a few months. I want this to be a few that empowers us to make a real change. And this is coming from someone who is actively doing their best to make a real change. I'm actually part of a tribe called Sovereign Honor Your Nation. We teach you that you are the indigenous people of this land, that all of us did not come from Africa. And we show you how to get your land back, how to put money together. We're putting money together. We're making real things happen. So, above all, y'all need to realize that we are not these bodies. We are not these flesh. That we are multidimensional, infinite beings having a human experience. We are God. God is getting to know itself through our words, through our actions. So if we are, y'all claim we're the progenitors, we're the gods, we invented all this stuff, blah, blah, blah. Well, we need to start conducting ourselves as such. I am for unity consciousness. Because with this new energy coming in, all this division and stuff ain't gonna work. That's the old paradigm. And if you notice, most of these people are like most of these white people are on our side these days. Like, it's really not that much racism. Like, yeah, it's always gonna be some form of, prejudice and stereotypes and stuff, but it's not really no racism for real. Like, they love our culture, they love us, they love our men. So let's get real here. I love us. I love everyone. Let's make some things happen. If you're interested in collabing or finding out more of my mission and what I am trying to do, email me at knoxboxxd@gmail.com. I send you divine love from our divine masculine and feminine progenitors, the primal creators of all things. I'm a representative of the Holy Mother. Anyway, in honor of our ancestors, and to remind y'all powerful, magical, infinite, neuromelanated Nagas, what we are capable of. Let me roll that tape again. To anyone that's saying that the African American, the copper indigenous people of America are tripping about our reaction, or that we're spewing hate and all of this, like, let us have our moment. Because what we're dealing with is so deep rooted that it is literally in our DNA throughout previous lifetimes. Like, we are ancestors in the sense that we are not only the descendants, but quite literally, some of us are reincarnations of our ancestors, whether you believe that or not. So you must understand that this is our way to cope with the trauma and the oppression and just subjugation that we have dealt with throughout generations. Not to say that other races, minorities, and white people were actually slaves, believe it or not. But we're still slaves in the sense, like, the system still has us on lockdown. However, what the biggest reason why I have a different perspective on, you know, the whole unity consciousness aspect, and not just perpetuating what the elites want us to do, which is cause a civil war and more division and more separation. I understand that is, they have done that with everything, with politics, with religion. This is their number one tactic, and I am not going to be the one to fall for it. I must remain true to myself regardless of what everybody else is talking about. I must remain true to my own principles. And long story short, as someone who has dealt with their own personal trauma and pain throughout life, I understand the power of using that as a fuel to transmute it into something so much greater, to something so beautiful. So, unite, choose love. Like, we need to transmute that pain into ideas, into building, into trying to get our land back, and that's what we need to be doing. To putting our money together. That's what we need to be doing. I am the true definition of unconditional love. I assure you. A lot of people think that they love people or whatever. Like, no, I love everyone unconditionally. And that means without any condition. And guess what? Skin color is a condition. I love even the people that still are racist and hate us, because they know not what they do. Yeah, so with loving you comes the love of myself. And with the love of myself comes with me being authentic with myself. And with me being authentic with myself means that I'm gonna be authentic with others. So I'm not gonna, like, I'll call you out on some BS. I'm not gonna, like, judge you or anything like that, because even the person that's judging you judge a person. Even the people that judge people for judging people are judging people. You see what I'm saying? But anyway, and I will also defend myself if it comes down to it. If it's my life, like, definitely. Other circumstances, most of the time I can walk away from. But yeah, if my intuition freaking tells me that there's danger, like, I'm gonna defend myself, and I'm gonna also protect those around me, probably more than myself. Lastly, loving you is not synonymous with being a pushover. I have been a pushover in the past in people's mind, but it's because I have mastered my emotions. I understand that a lot of situations are extemporal. I don't know if I said that right, but yeah, that word means temporary. So, it's easy for me to bypass, situations, confrontations with people trying to fight me and stuff like that, or trying to get to me or siphon my energy. I'm a master. I'll freaking like, all right, eat that energy. Oh, thank you. Like, oh, you're just giving me all your energy, all that negative energy. Just give it to me. I'm just gonna transmute it anyway. Like, so yeah. But then it comes when you threaten those around me. Now that's when you're gonna, like, see that side of me that you do not want to see. It takes a lot for it to get out of me, but the easiest way to do it is to mess with anyone around me, to bully people, to single out people. Like, I don't deal with injustices like that. So yeah. And I would have been there doing the Brawl for more support. because me as a woman, I understand my place. And my place does not require me fighting grown men. For some reason, these white women missed that memo. I don't know what they were thinking. Karen, sit down somewhere. Or get hit with a chair. But yeah, nah. I'm just saying, but seriously though, like, when you step into a man's territory, you get whatever comes with that. That's just the reality of it. You ain't see no black women there, we know better. I'm just saying, like, yeah, so they should have backed up as far as that goes. Like, I would have been there like, yeah, go baby, like, yeah. And, you know, make sure nobody freaking got, I was worried about somebody getting chopped up in the blade from the boat, honestly. Like, when they push them in the water, I was like, oh God, like, please don't push nobody. That, you know, that would have been bad. Like, so, yeah, my mind just be thinking about crazy scenarios. Like, did anybody notice how the white boy, the teenager, how he was trying to intervene, like he was trying to get in the fight, he was like nuck, like he was about to get bucked, and his dad or somebody pushed him back, was like, nah, like, this is not your place. Oh my God. Point of view of me trying to add the original videos, but realizing that TikTok took them all down. Yikes. I'm sure y'all saw it about 40 times by now. I already know everybody been watching them since yesterday. But yeah, check me out. Like, share, subscribe. Make sure you check out my YouTube channel, Knox Box Official, and that is KNOXBOXX Official.